Now on Fridays, this man, longtime observer and participant in music and movies and writing of all sorts of films, television as well. There's nothing that he doesn't sit through as a dedicated critic of media. He is the culture blaster. He comes and goes on a rainbow. How about it for the great Michael Snyder, everyone? What's up, Michael Snyder?
Happy weekend, Mark. Always a pleasure to be here with the head of the Thompson Crime Syndicate family, Thompson Family Crime Syndicate. You keep hearing about it in the news. People
Joe Box and Little Anthony.
casting aspersions, amid all these high-profile split-ups and relationship traumas. I'm afraid I, too, must announce my impending divorce from reality because, hey, it's the weekend. Happy hour starts right after 12 noon, and we're already deep into it.
I will ding aspersions. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
go ahead.
As long as I am getting divorced from reality, I want to wish everybody a happy, high, holy day. Because
I get it.
That's what this weekend is.
Where are my weed smokers
Happy
at?
Rosh Hashanah to our Jewish friends, and happy Rosh Hashanah to our Canadian rock friends. Because, Geddy Lee and
Rush is a Canadian. The weed, is there a kosher weed?
Where are my weed smokers
or is
at?
it you have to...
depends on the rabbi.
I see. Okay.
What's he blessing and how's he blessing it? What is that incense, minister? Anyway, it is a big weekend in movies, and I will preface everything by saying Barbie is now available in digital streaming formats for any humans out there who have yet to see it or want to see it again, flaws and all. So many Barbies. It reminds me of a joke. What type of shaving cream does Ken use? Barbies all.
Oh, come on, everybody. Oh.
I know, puns. They're the worst.
Well, I must tell you, Michael, you make fun of the fact that the movie was huge and that there essentially is no one in America that hasn't seen it, even as you talk about its availability streaming. But Courtney and I have not seen it, and we are watching it tonight.
We'll see. You're getting on board the Barbie train, so to speak. But that sounds wrong somehow.
Okay.
But we do want to talk about some new movies that are available for your delectation. You want to hit the ding?
I'll ding it. Go ahead.
Thanks. I feel just a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
A Haunting in Venice is perhaps my favorite of the three Hercule Poirot movies directed by and starring Kenneth Branagh. As the fastidious and uncannily perceptive French detective created by that mistress of murder mysteries, Agatha Christie. Like its Branagh as Poirot predecessors, Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, it's a period piece, only this time it's a post-World War II setting on Halloween in one of the most romantic and potentially spooky cities on the planet, Venice. You don't want to walk into a canal late at night and never be heard from again. So when a murder occurs at a seance, which is set up on All Hallows Eve to contact the ghost of a young woman whose death was ruled a suicide, atmospheric fun is in store. So an older and more deliberate Poirot appears to be in retirement mode. He shuns new cases despite a line of potential clients outside his Venetian dwelling every day. But then an American mystery writer he knows shows up in Venice and invites him to the seance at a decaying palazzo for debunking purposes.
Oh, I see.
And he can't resist. As played by Branagh this time, Poirot seems weary. He's older. But then the dark doings get his juices flowing.
He's a
anew.
reluctant hero, isn't he, Michael?
Pretty much. He wants to just busy himself.
Wants to kick it.
I don't know. He's busy eating escargot or something. I don't know. He is French, right? The cheeses are so distracting. Anyway, as in Branagh's previous Poirot movies, there is a splendid international cast playing a who's who of well-to-do and possibly ne'er-do-well victims and or suspects. They include Kelly Riley, so good on Yellowstone now. She plays the woman whose home is where the haunt is, and who was the mother of the purported suicide. Michelle Yeoh, Oscar winner for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Star Trek, Shang-Chi. She plays a questionable medium. Jamie Dornan, who you may know from Belfast or 50 Shades of Grey, he's a despondent doctor.
All ding despondent.
Camille Cotin, who is so good in Call My Agent, is a confidant of the hostess. And yes, that is SNL vet Tina Fey, Liz Lemon herself from 30 Rock, and recently, by the way, a significant character on Only Murders in the Building, as you've never seen her before, playing the murder mystery author who drags Poirot to the seance.
Wow.
There's never been anything like this.
Oh, wow.
From
For Tina
Tina.
Fey, there's never been anything like this.
Absolutely not. Screenwriter Michael Green provides the weird twists and plot turns and darkly witty dialogue that we come to expect in a Christie adaptation. The pacing is sort of studied in a sneaky, scary way, and the strange and kind of angular approach to this one's cinematography, echoing Gothic horror classics like The Haunting, enhances the otherworldly ghostliness and sets it apart from Branagh's more straightforward approach to his other Poirot movies, which I should actually reiterate that I definitely enjoyed. Although A Haunting in Venice is probably going to become available for streaming by actual Halloween in the real world, which is a great time for watching a movie about haunting.
Oh, yeah.
It looks damn good on the big screen, which is where you can see it starting today. In short, I will not say boo to The Haunting.
I get it. Ne'er-do-well, I'm told, is a ding phrase. I will permit it.
Ding
Also,
phrase?
it's not. I know it's well. The reason I will permit it is that the ne'er in ne'er-do-well is almost never exists without the phraseology of do well.
It's a contraction.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a contraction of never.
Of course. Now, what? Please, we know. My audience knows that. These are sophisticated people. This is how sophisticated they are. Trevor in Hollywood says he's not French.
He's Belgian. He's Belgian.
Poirot is Belgian.
Oh my God!
They're all over you on this.
French speaking.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. He is Belgian.
It was,
which means
would you say my bad?
My bad.
my bad. You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, I apologize for that. Number one. Number two.
Yeah.
That means rather than escargot, he's having pommes frites and mussels.
Oh, very good knowledge. All right.
I misspoke.
Okay.
I did. Sorry. Oh, thank you, audience. Anyway, the always compelling and ever versatile actor Gael Garcia Bernal broke out in the Mexican hit buddy picture Y Tu Mama Tambien, scored big in other films, but he's probably best known in the States as one of the stars of the romantic dramedy series Mozart in the Jungle, and now he gives one of his most accomplished performances to date in Cassandro. So, Saul Armendariz, a gay amateur wrestler from humble origins in El Paso, Texas, created the character of Cassandro, who's kind of a sort of Liberace of Mexican wrestling, which, in case you are among the uninitiated, is a coming together of athletic achievement and broad theatrics, kind of like U.S. pro wrestling. Mexican wrestling is known as lucha libre and traditionally features masked wrestlers with unique identities, such as the master of them all, the silver-masked Santo, and his heir, son of Santo. But the generally macho sport also features what's known as exoticos, who are, if I may, on the flamboyant side. They're like the glam rockers of Mexican wrestling with a lot of drag influences, and were long derided and insulted by fans, not to mention never allowed to win the predetermined matches.
Oh, of course not. Yeah,
you know, macho culture, right?
Derided and flamboyant, please.
That all changed in the late 1980s when Cassandro rose from the amateur ranks in Juarez, El Paso's sister city across the border. In the movie Cassandro, which is directed and co-written by Roger Ross Williams, we're introduced to Armendariz, his long-suffering single mom, his closeted lover, a savvy female wrestler who trains him, an entrepreneur who believes in him, and the estranged religious father who was ashamed of having a gay son. And this is based on the trailblazing Armendariz's life and career, but liberties are taken. Still, what's pretty dead on is how he overcame obstacles and rose to fame, how he helped to change the perception of the exoticos, and how he became a hero in lucha libre. Even if Cassandra plays fast and loose with various aspects, of the Armendariz biography. His bravery and his positivity come through, and the movie's climactic big-time match is as exciting as you could hope a finale to be, with a lovely coda to boot. Most of all, Gael Garcia Bernal, he's fantastico as Cassandro. Kudos to the music supervisor on the film, who filled the score with lots of cool Mexican pop tracks from the late 80s and early 90s, as well as the Hispanic version of Blondie's Call Me, sung by Deborah Harry herself.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah, Cassandro is in theaters this weekend, but next week will be available for streaming on Friday via Amazon Prime Video.
I think I'm going to check that out, actually. I'll wait for the streaming probably. But coda is a ding word, and kudos I will ding. So go ahead.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Anyway, look, I'm all about beauty and whimsy, so I was pretty satisfied by the beautiful and whimsical animated feature, The Inventor, co-directed by Jim Capobianco and Pierre-Luc Grandjean. It's an absolutely wonderful mix of animated styles, mostly stop motion, but with bursts of 2D animation popping up at certain junctures in the story, examining the late-in-life achievements and struggles of the maestro of Italian Renaissance art and invention, Leonardo da Vinci. So as the inventor begins, Da Vinci's prickly relationship with Pope Leo is further undermined by the fact that he would rather investigate the inner workings of the human body, including autopsies and stuff, and puzzle over the nature of life and the soul than build war machines for the Vatican. Vatican does not want you trying to figure out the soul.
Right.
That's anathema. Hit the ding.
Well, anathema is it, but it's the world. That's the world of the spiritual, religious world that they already have a handle on.
So they say.
Yeah.
So Da Vinci and his assistants leave Italy when King Francis invites him to join the court of France, where the artist hopes to construct an ideal city that he's designing as the culmination of his career, along with cutting up dead bodies procured by his team in order to understand our biological mechanics. Of course,
So you see his team cutting up, digging up bodies?
Quasi-grave robbing.
Animated grave robbing.
Yes, of course. So King Francis wants to impress his fellow European kings with a mammoth Da Vinci-designed statue and whatever else Leonardo can fashion to honor his patron. But Da Vinci is consumed with his own plans and dreams, which means conflict ahead. The voice cast for the inventor is really something else, led by the eloquent Stephen Fry as Da Vinci. Stephen Fry from Fry and Laurie, and
Eloquent Elding. Yeah.
He's just a massive comedic talent and dramatic actor.
Is this you said whimsy? There's a comedic sort of line through this whole
absolutely.
thing? Okay.
You get speaking of which, you get the perfectly braying Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows and Toast of London as Pope Leo. And his voice performance is just fantastic there. Daisy Ridley from the Star Wars movies as the forward-thinking French Princess Marguerite, and Oui Madame Marion Cotillard as Louise de Savoy, the mother of King Francis. It's somewhat of a history lesson and a bit of Leonardo bio that also muses on serious philosophical questions, but it does all that with grace and charm and a visual splendor, as well as some rather amusing and ear-friendly musical numbers. So there's some music involved as well.
How long is it, Michael?
90 minutes max.
Okay.
Although not hyped up and not earth-shattering. I mean, it's still a gentle confection that I found to be more than inventive enough to recommend. The Inventor.
I get it. Inventive and inventor.
It's in theaters, and it's going to play well at home, too. I hate to just say that, but these movies look good up on the big screen. All three of them do.
Especially, as you say, it's a beautiful film. I get from what you're saying. Confection, I will ding. The television, you have a TV tip for us?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact, because I'm that guy, of course. I know some people have gotten off it and don't care about it that much, but I watched The Walking Dead.
Sure.
I guess we can call it the flagship series of this, post-apocalyptic zombie sci-fi thingy.
Right.
I watched it to the bitter end. And I'm watching The Walking Dead DARYL, DIXON, which is new on AMC. It is a miniseries spun off of The Walking Dead, and this one centers on Norman Reedus and his resourceful insanely durable, hard-charging biker character, DARYL, who is an accomplished zombie killer, or he wouldn't still be, running around in this thing.
Sure.
And he washes up on a French beach in the first episode, and you're wondering, how the hell did DARYL, good old boy from the South, end up on a French beach? And soon thereafter, he meets a plucky nun, played by Clémence Poésy of the Harry Potter movies.
Did they explain how? Did they explain how? Of course they do. In
It's
flashback.
it's
or whatever.
unfolding slowly.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, the two of them run afoul of a criminal gang, and they have to somehow transport a kid that the nun and her convent sisters think may be the Messiah. Maybe,
Wow.
maybe not. Through zombies, criminals, lunacy. The French countryside. It's shot in France with a lot of French actors, and it's a different flavor from the original Walking Dead, but it's good old DARYL. And so I was totally on
Wow.
board, man.
Talk about fish out of water. DARYL in France.
I know he has a little French guidebook and one of those little French to English dictionaries. Oui, oui,
Photos,
madame.
Yeah, things to see
right.
between seeing zombies,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
killing zombies.
By the
Walking
way,
Dead.
the zombies also in France have a Michelin guide as to who they're going to eat.
Oh, that's good.
What brains are on the menu and such. It's a fascinating. It's very, very different.
The Walking Dead. DARYL Dixon, the latest iteration of The Walking Dead. Michael likes it. The Inventor. Beautiful, whimsical. Stephen Fry, Matt Berry, Marion Cotillard.
Oui, oui. Again.
He likes the visual style of The Inventor. He likes the story of the ultimate inventor, Leonardo da Vinci.
And a bit of a rebel.
And there it is. I can't wait. That's a week away from streaming, right? It's in theaters, and I think you said it'll be open.
I think in October.
Okay.
I'm not really sure about the absolute date.
Cassandro, the Gael Garcia Bernal vehicle, the gay amateur wrestler. Apparently, Michael liked it.
It's fantastic performance by Garcia Bernal, and he becomes a pro. I mean, a big pro, internationally known star in the world of lucha libre.
And the finish, as I recall from your review, is strong. Got a big, like Rocky type finish.
And Cassandro, by the way, is still amongst us and consulted on the film. By the way,
that's cool. That's cool. That's again in theaters, but then it'll be streaming
next Friday,
That's the
streaming
thing
on
that's streaming
Prime
in a week.
Video.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the one.
And then A Haunting in Venice. It's the Branagh helmed and led vehicle that takes the role of Poirot again, the Belgian sleuth.
Oh, I'm so humiliated.
Who is now in. I deliberately did that too.
I know.
Dig you. He is now in Venice, and he's a reluctant. His sleuthing is reluctant. He's
At this
reluctant-
point,
yeah.
he's at the end of his
Don't bring
career.
me into another murder situation.
Right, and he was a reluctant attendee at a seance, but he goes there with Liz Lemon. I mean, the American author played by Tina Fey.
Yeah, how about that? Tina Fey, Jamie Dornan, Michelle Yeoh, and Kelly Riley, along with Kenneth Branagh in the lead role. A Haunting in Venice. Michael really liked it. Wow. Well, Michael, in our last few seconds,
See.
maybe you'd like to speak about the Niners.
Well, my team looks powerful. Shockingly enough, there are so many disbelievers all across the nation, people who just hate San Francisco, hate the 49ers, hate their success, hate their legacy and history. And yet, despite East Coast bias, many people after week one have picked them at the top of the NFL power rankings. Don't get too confident, guys. Come out with a head of steam. I know you've got a great regular season record of late against the Los Angeles Rams, especially when most of the fans at SoFi Stadium, it's like Levi's South.
That's apparently the way it is. Even in Pittsburgh, there are a ton of San Francisco fans there when they played the opener there.
Let's put it this way. Matthew Stafford is not Kenny Pickens. This is a completely accomplished professional quarterback who's been doing this for a long time. It's not going to be as easy. And you got Aaron Donald trying to sink his teeth into Brock Purdy on the on the 49ers.
Serious pass rush. And I think this is a real test. And yeah, those who wrote off the Rams are wrong. They're the real thing.
They're certainly better than people assumed after what they did to the Seahawks this past weekend. I just want to say
Yes, sir.
how excited I am that football season is back, because even though the Giants are actually right now in a tie for the last wild card slot, who really knows how things are going to go over the next 2 weeks when they have to face the Dodgers?
I'd
and
love
the
to see
Padres?
them in the postseason, even if it's only for one round. It would be great.
In the meantime, go team, go Giants, go Niners, and of course, go the Mark Thompson team. We always have a great
Michael's
time.
got his Mark Thompson Show mug, and I trust that's in a place of honor, sir. Thank you for being with us every Friday. He comes and goes on a rainbow, the culture blaster. Oh. Bye, Michael.
Have a great weekend, all.
Yeah.
The Mark Thompson Show.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.